Hello, how you doing? It's Friday night, and it's the Love and Marriage Show, God's Way.
God's Way.
Really excited that you're with us on this another Friday night. I hope that you had a good day today. The weather in our way is definitely cooling off, and so it's a good thing. So hopefully y'all enjoying this weather, and on a Friday night, hopefully you're staying safe. Thank you for being on with us tonight. Again, Love and Marriage, God's Way, and we hope tonight to continue to talk about love and marriage and some of the things that we are learning in our book study we're doing through the 5 love languages. Our show specifically was birthed from a vision of Mona when we were first put in pandemic quarantine status. You know, everybody was kind of freaking out, relationships on the rocks, folks having to stay close to each other more than they used to. And so fussing and fighting and a lot of stuff we were hearing from folks caused us to say, hey, what can we do to make a difference? And that's why we started this show. And it's been a blessing for all of us. Take some time for us. We're giving back and we enjoy it. On our show, we try to make sure we talk about, relationships from God's perspective. And also we try to make sure your voice is heard. And so there's so many voices, but we need to rely on the word of God. All right. So that's what this is all about. Mm-hmm. So tonight we want you to be interactive by participating through your chat options. So you can do it on Facebook comment section and or YouTube, the live chat. And so you can comment with us. We want to hear from you. Well, also, before we get started, I want you to invite your friends to the conversation. Push that share button, invite your family and friends so they can help us tonight talk about what we're going to be talking about. So again, we are happy you are here. So again, we're talking about this book. You help them see it, Mom, now?
Oh, sure, baby.
Yeah.
And this is the 5 love language. Let me move my hands out the way. And that's by Gary Chapman.
Yep.
The 5 love languages by Gary Chapman.
Yep. 5 love languages. And so it's an awesome book. If you haven't put your hands on it, you might want to get you one ASAP, especially if you're in a relationship. All right. Yes. And if you're not, still be good to know. So I'll get into that. And that's what we've been talking about. So that's what we're going to continue to talk about tonight. Before we get into the book, we want to kind of talk about your relationships. We want to know specifically tonight, what's the most memorable gift you've received from your mate or your spouse? So, think back, your most memorable gift. We would like to know what those are. They may give us some ideas tonight as we try to think of gifts to give. So what's your most memorable gift?
Memorable gift.
Right. So y'all think about that. I'm going to get off screen and I want to give you a few more minutes to see it. Those who are visual. Here's the question. Be back in 20. All right. So hopefully y'all are answering the questions for tonight as we open up, asking again for your most memorable gift that you've received in your relationship with your spouse.
Most memorable gift, right?
Yeah, from the person you're with now. Let's just make it clear. We don't want to cause any friction in your relationship. So specifically, the most memorable gift from the person you're with now. All right. Save somebody some grief tonight.
Yes.
All right. So that's what we want you to do from your person you with now. The most memorable gift. All right. Let's see what y'all have on tonight. All right. See, fam. I see you on fam.
From Wardell and Brenda, our son Caleb. That's really good.
Yep,
Yes.
that is a memorable gift.
Yes,
absolutely.
it is.
Absolutely. And then we see a twin.
3 wonderful sons.
And a twin. They twins.
Yes.
Yeah.
3 wonderful
Mama
sons.
Barker. What's up, Mom? What's up, Mom? 3 wonderful sons. Most memorable gift you've received from your spouse. That's good. That's good. So far, none of these gifts cost any monetary cost, charge, or fee. So that's good. That's good. Who else? Who's watching will be so kind to share? Again, the question, if you're just checking us out, describe your most memorable gift you received from your spouse or your mate. Anybody else? While y'all thinking about it, I asked you, Mona, what's your most memorable gift you received from me? From me. What's your most memorable gift?
When I'm gonna say when you put a ring on it. When you put a ring on it. No, I am. Of course, our children, and they took mine, which I was definitely gonna say that. But yes, I'm gonna say when you proposed and got down on your knee and handed me that wedding ring was my most memorable gift.
Wow, that's good. That's
yes,
good.
Sir.
Awesome. That's good. It's your most memorable gift.
Yes, it is. It's the beginning of it all.
Beginning of it all.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Very good. Very good.
How about you?
Set of golf clubs. You brought me a set of golf clubs. My most memorable gift. You brought me a set of golf clubs. Not the ring, but the golf clubs. And why? Because you saw me out there. I went to a pawn shop, bought some golf clubs just to see. You know, all my friends were golfing, and I was trying to get into golfing. And you refused to have me out there with my bags that didn't match my clubs, and my clubs wasn't the right size, and some were greens and some were black. And you felt the need to have me out there, even though I didn't know what I was doing. You wanted me to be in style.
Yes.
And so that was a big deal, and that was early in our relationship. So I would say those golf clubs, just because it was establishing, you know, you be invested in what I'm interested in. And even now, we both try to golf, even though we don't know what in the world we're doing.
That's true.
That's for me. What about y'all? We're asking again, what's the most memorable gift you've ever received from your spouse and your mate? And I'm also going to copy off of those who come so far. I mean, the kids, definitely.
Oh, of course.
So these things are second under that. I'll make this very clear. I'll speak for Mona too. Second to that, and second from loving the Lord and all that kind of stuff. Outside of that, I think that'll be it for me. All right, so by somebody watching, yes, you got another question? All right, somebody
just
watching.
Look at you. I told you that was the beginning of it all. So
oh, you one of them kind.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, so most memorable gift you received from your spouse. Oh, good. See, Faith, I saw something earlier.
Clarity.
So that's what she received from her mate. Clarity. Good. That's again, so far, these are gifts that so far have no monetary value. That's really awesome. Anybody else watching, your last chance. We're asking again, what's the most memorable gift you received from your mate? That could be, it can have any kind of value. It's valuable to you. Anybody else? That's a good deal. Some things I know that are real valuable is or sometimes are the first date, you know, your first house, you know, these things like that.
Yes.
So just be interested. While tonight, what we want to talk about, reason we're talking about that is because it moves us in the next chapter of our book study. So, you know, because we're talking tonight about receiving gifts. So this is the 3rd love language. We've been talking about the 5 love languages.
The 5 love languages by who?
Gary Chapman.
So
we're talking about that, and we've already covered a few of the love languages. We'll recover we'll recast those in a second. But tonight we get to number 3 of 5, and that's receiving gifts. And that's why I want to kind of talk about the whole gift thing, the most memorable gift you have, because I think you can give us ideas. I want y'all to get your creative juices flowing, because we want to get ideas from you when at the end of this show for ideas of what someone can do if their mate has the love language of receiving gifts. So if Mona's gifts, her love language is receiving gifts, I want to leave some ideas from the book, but I know some of you experts who are watching, you may be able to help us more. I see Brenda's giving us a little more. What she have extra there?
It was Wardell. He said Wardell said it was a shoe shine kit that Brenda purchased about 25 years ago, and it looks new. And he said he used it every Saturday night to shine his shoes before going to church. And that's when church was open.
All right. Lord, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you know, Wardell, you always casket clean. I mean, you always casket clean, shoe shine. So, Brenda, you knew exactly what to get your man. I can see it. That's right. I'm going to give you a virtual high five right there. Me knowing Wardell, that was spot on. I know you was clean. I know you was clean. That's good, but that's exactly the kind of thing we're talking about.
Yes.
You know, these gifts sometimes, and that shoe shine set was not $1 million. See, that's the point. And he still remembers that 25 years have passed. It's not the dollar. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Yep, exactly. And we're gonna get into that because that's the whole misnomer. This American dream is all about, you know, how much you spend, the next biggest thing or the next newest thing. But we're gonna cover that lie tonight. So that's not the thing. And so that example is right on. Brenda said, yes. I receive it. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So that's where we are. So I want to kind of remind, kind of recast some stuff we talked about. If this is your first time, you'll hear it for the first time. And if you have been here, then it just be kind of it'll remind you of some of the things we've already covered. But one thing before we really get into it, you want to participate. Push the share button. You can do that. It won't take you that long to do that. Just go ahead and do that. Boom. Invite all your friends. Make sure I did it too. I think I did, but let me make sure I get on here and make sure that I did. Absolutely did. Let's see. Yes, I did. All right. Good. So push the share button. Let's get all our friends to come be a part of our conversation. Now that we got the housekeeping out of the way. So we're talking about the 5 love languages, this book by Gary Chapman. Y'all seen the book, won't raise it up every time. But one of the core thoughts in this book is this idea of the love tank, all right? So we talk about a love tank, and it's similar to your fuel tank. In your car, when your fuel tank has fuel, you can go anywhere you want to go.
That's right.
When your fuel tank in your car is empty, no matter how dressed up you are, no matter how much you want to get where you're going, you're not physically able in that car to get where you want to go.
That's right.
And so the love tank is very similar in that regard, because the love tank means that when you are in a relationship, your love meter, all right? So when your love meter is full, your relationship is strong.
Yes, it is.
When your love meter is empty, your relationship is on the rocks. Now, we've seen what it looks like to have relationships that are full. You know, you see them all booed up. You can't tell who's who in the restaurant, right?
Yes.
And then when a relationship on the rocks, I mean, they just, they're coexisting, right?
Yes.
And so we learn the love tank is really important.
Yes, it is.
And so the way we remind ourselves of the love tank is it's a filling station, right? Yes. And what does that mean?
Filling station, how we have talked about it as when your filling stations is based off of how you like to feel. You said like your gas tank, you put gas in your tank to make that full. but your love, how you like to feel, and how things that the other person does for you actually make you feel, of course. And that is the filling station.
Absolutely. And so what we're learning about the 5 love languages is it helps us to make sure in the symmetry of a car that we don't put ketchup in the gas tank. Did y'all catch that? It's to make sure we don't put olive oil in the gas tank, right? If the gas tank is supposed to have 95 octane and you put 67 octane in it, even if you fill it up, it's going to run bad.
That is right.
The idea of the love tank is that so many relationships, there are people who are good people trying their best to have a good relationship, trying to show love to their spouse. But the problem is the way they show it, and they're giving the wrong thing, so that the spouse's tank is empty, even though the other partner is trying to deposit in, and frustration comes, anger comes, and unfortunately divorce comes, and the devil wins, right?
And the whole purpose of going over the 5 love languages, again, by Gary Chapman, is so you can understand what your mate's love language is. Because and what we've talked about week after week after week is that your love tank, or your love language, I'm sorry, is way different than my love language.
Different.
It's different than my love language. So just because my love language is one way and I'm doing those things to my mate because that's what I like, does not mean that his love language is the same as mine. So there should be 2 opposite, and it may be the same thing, not saying that it isn't, but you want to make sure that you know your mate's love language, so the filling station can always be what?
Yep, full.
That's right.
And knowing, that's the catch. That's why we're doing all tonight. That's why we're spending so much time every week, because we get new people on and people forget.
Yes.
But why are we talking about this? Because we can talk about a lot of things, but that's the reason. So that's what we're doing, making sure you know what love language you have and what love language your spouse has. That way you can be intentional on feeling it. So far, we covered 3 languages. First language we covered a few weeks ago is words of affirmation. And what does that mean, Mona?
When you speak appreciation, letting that individual know, I appreciate you, baby, for all that you do. Baby, thank you so much for being a loving spouse.
Right. And it's so for some people, that's how they hear love. So if you're not speaking appreciation, no matter how many things you do for them, all these other things, if it's not being heard, it's not going to do it. It's like that person who says, all I wanted to hear is you tell me you love me.
All I wanted you.
And the husband says, well, I come home, I bring a check, I blah, 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 I ain't cheated and I don't drink. So there's a disconnect. So that's the point of that one. What's the second one we talked about?
QT is the way I put it, which means and stands for quality time.
Right. And that's about togetherness, right? So we talked about that last time. I believe last time we talked about it. So quality time does not mean I'm in the same place, because you can be on the elevator with people, y'all in the same place,
but not what?
You're not spending quality time. So we talked about it's not just in proximity.
That's right.
Right. That's what the lesson was last week.
And we said learn to put these what?
Down.
Yes.
Cell phones and technology are destroying sometimes the whole relationship building thing, because we talked about being at the restaurant, everybody's on the phone, on a date, which makes no sense. And I've done it, so I want to make it, I'm guilty. But quality time, togetherness, we talk about quality conversations, finding time to break away, walk the dog together.
Yes.
This is quality time, not a lot of money there. But if that's somebody's love language, they need to hear from you. They need to spend time with you. Quality time, and it's all about that. So we talked about that last time. So words of affirmation, hearing from you, these kind of things that appreciate what's going on. Then quality time. Tonight we're going to talk about receiving gifts. All right.
Receiving gifts.
So if you're watching tonight and you'll be so kind, we want to put it in the comment section or in live chat. I want you to put that in receiving gifts. All right. And the reason we want you to do that, so you won't just think I just want you to do it, is because some people who are watching our feed right now and scrolling wonder if they're going to stop. This will be something to let them know what we're talking about. So you're going to be helping us to do that. So why don't you just go ahead and put in the receiving gift if you're watching online, receiving gifts.
All
right. That's gifts. The topic tonight. And that way, if somebody don't want to watch the whole thing, they can see that, and they got number 3. Number 3, receiving gifts. Receiving gifts. Go ahead and put that in the comment section. Be kind and do that for us in the comment section. Receiving gifts. All right. See if y'all gonna help us out tonight. Who's gonna help us tonight? Good. Thank you, Connie. All right. Good. Yep. Who's gonna help us? Receiving gifts. That's what we want you to do. Put that in for us. Receiving gifts. Thank you, Connie. I see you. All right. Receiving gifts. Who's gonna help us? All right. I see you. I see you, Lacey. Lacey did it. All right. Awesome. John and Ems. That's right. Receiving gifts. Let's see who's going to put that there. Receiving gifts. Thank you so much, Juanita Davenport Cook. All right. Awesome. Receiving gifts. The whole name. All right, fam. Brenda, receiving gifts. So that's what we want you to put in, receiving gifts. That's what we're talking about. We want to be kind of flood that little section. If you want, just flood it. Even if you leave, just put receiving gifts, then leave. We just want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what we're talking about tonight. Receiving gifts. Y'all got it tonight. Receiving gifts. All right. That's what we're talking about tonight. That's important. So we're talking about receiving gifts. What's the big deal about the gift?
The gift is a very huge ordeal because the gift is a symbol of love.
Absolutely. That's good.
A symbolization of it, of the love that you may have for that person.
Right. A gift is a symbol of love. And we think about that with our kids, those who have kids, or if you have nieces, you have nephews. Thank you. I see y'all putting in receiving gifts. Keep putting that in. We want that. Flood that timeline. Receiving gifts, receiving gifts. Thank you so much. I see you, Brenda. I see you, James Wiley, Tammy Moss, Tamika Eagles, David Branch. I see y'all. Thank you. Receiving gifts. If you're watching, put that in. And so we talk about receiving gifts. Gifts, as she just said, are a symbol of love.
Yes, it is.
Now that's really important. Check this out. Now it's a symbol of love. As a grandparent, a nanny, whatever you call them, those nanny, grandma, or you got cousins, nephews, all that kind of stuff. Nephews, nieces, whatever. You know what it means when Christmas comes and you give them a gift. You're not giving them a gift for the gift. You're giving them a gift as a symbol of how much they mean to you. Think about that for a second. The gift is a tangible symbol. So let me show you right now. So if I grab Mona's love for me, I believe my wife loves me. I really believe it. I believe my wife loves me. Matter of fact, if she didn't, she wouldn't put up with me. So I know she loved me after this long. All right. So I know she loves me, but check this out. I can't grab it. I can't touch it.
You can't touch it?
I can't touch it.
Really?
I can't touch the love. It's not there for me to grab. Not there for me to grab. But now, can I see your hand? I got something tangible now that I can hold on to, and so I got something I can hold on to, tangible that I can hold on to. So here's the point. Don't miss the point. Here's the point. The point is, if love is a symbol, when we give love, then the point is not the gift. The gift is just a symbol to remind you or to let you know how much you mean to me, right? And so much in our pop culture is so much money and time is wasted on folks trying to buy a bigger gift.
That's right.
Or a more expensive gift. And I love what Brenda said earlier. Actually, Wardell said earlier. He's holding on for 25 years to a shoe shine set. I mean, that's not expensive. Obviously, it's something he uses, and it's important to him because his wife took enough time to know something that he actually would use practical. Similar to me, my golf clubs, I'm not good at golf. I'm like this big. I don't want no one to say I lied in public about something. I'm no good. I stink in golf. Stinks in golf. But we like doing it together. Just the scenery of it. So awesome to get out there and laugh at each other. Look a mess. I'm telling you, plum mess. But we have fun doing it. But she knew what I needed, got me that. No money involved. So the gift is a symbol of love. So those who are married, who are watching tonight, if you're married, you've heard this, and if you've been to a wedding, you've heard this. There's a portion of the of the service of the
Ceremony.
ceremony. Thank you, where the preacher will say, "Who has the rings?" Right,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes people say, "Here it is," and sometimes people say, "I'll be right back." Right, and so we get to the ring part of the service. The preacher will hold up the ring. And so this is my actual ring. So this is my ring. All right. So the preacher will hold up the ring and he will say, "This ring is a symbol, an outward symbol of the inward connection these hearts have made. The ring is continuous in nature, which is symbolic of the love between these two individuals." You're going to hear that in your vows. You're going to hear it. I know some of y'all like, yeah, I remember. Yeah. So this is what you're going to hear when it comes to the ring. See, it's continuous. There's no beginning and there's no end. You can't find it. Nowhere in there. You can't find it. You can't find it. It's continuous. So this is not a marriage. Check it out. This is a symbol of a marriage. So this is what it is. So this is how we can see, and this is in the book. So they talk about the importance of symbols and even the ring. And so we got this ring. It's a symbol. Now I have this symbol, and we get married. We're showing outwardly how much we're all together becoming one. Now here's the problem, though. It's a symbol of my love for her, but the problem comes when this symbol is not shown. So when I am married, but I don't want to wear my ring, that's a whole nother sermon. I'll leave that alone. But if I'm married, then I ought to want to have a symbol. Again, this is not love. This is not love. This is a symbol outwardly that I've made a commitment, a covenant, if you will, with God and with my wife that is continuous in nature. All right. So that's the symbol. So we talk about the gift. The gift is a symbol. Now, this is really important if someone has the love language of receiving gifts. Now, it will hurt my feelings regardless if whether receiving gifts is my love language or not. I'm concerned if Mona is married to me and she never wants to wear her ring. And so I'm telling you, I'm going to be concerned. But if my love language is receiving gifts, meaning symbols really matter to me, this could be the breaking point in my marriage. I want you to hear this. Now, for me, we're just going to have a talk. This is going to be a breaking point because this is not necessarily my love language. But when I look at her hand, I need to see something. I need to see something. All right? I need to see something. But if it's not that, we're going to have a conversation. But if your gift, or not your gift, your love language is receiving gifts, this could be a deal breaker. So we talk about that. So the symbol is, again, receiving gifts is about thinking of the other person. So you can do that in many, many ways. All right. So we talk. So do you want to add anything about that?
Yeah, I like that idea when you're saying you can do it in many ways, because when you're talking about having a symbol of love, most people think that their symbol of love has to be like when you discussed, has to be of a high monetary gift. Now, I want a Tesla. He know I want a Tesla. I want a Tesla. Like, I love Teslas. But your love for me is not based off of the fact of me receiving that Tesla, because I know you love me in spite of. Now, again, that's not my love language as well, but with the love language does not mean, and even for the person that love receiving gifts, it does not mean that that value has to have a high monetary value. Like you've discussed. Something as simple as giving a rose, or if it's a flower that are grown in your yard, pick a flower, give the flower to your spouse. I know for me as a parent, when my child or children, because I have several, when my children take time out of their day and their little hearts, work so hard, they give you write on a piece of paper, and that's for Elizabeth for sure. She loved writing stuff on a piece of paper, and then they take it and they bring it to you and say, "Mama, I made this for you." Even though that's not my love language, my little heart fills up with excitement because I know that they took time out of their day. But it's just that simple thing that child did for me that just expressed how their love was for me.
Right. And one of the things, it totally ignore what Brenda said. I'm not gonna highlight what she said.
Brenda said.
Totally ignore what Brenda said.
Get you one, Mona. That's right.
Totally ignore.
Only live once.
Totally.
I know it. Yes.
Totally ignore that.
Totally ignore it.
I rebuke that spirit. I rebuke it. So, but no. So if receiving gifts is your love language, then that's a great love language that can be fulfilled with with easy effort. I mean, just some effort, you can get it done. Whereas words of appreciation, if you don't really know what to say, you can sound like it's fake.
Yes.
So that's a hard love language if that's not your thing to talk appreciation. Because I know some people, it's just hard to say, I love you. And so if that's your personality, you're married to somebody whose love language is words of appreciation, you're going to be in a pickle. You're going to be in a horrible situation right there. So you got to learn how to do that. Yes. Quality time, same thing. Just being around, I'm here. It takes a little more work. This one is one that's more natural to feel. So if your spouse or your mate has the love language of receiving gifts, you can meet that goal real easy because, as we said earlier, there's many ways to fulfill this one. One of them is you can purchase something. We talked about that before, right? So you can purchase something. You can make something.
You can make something.
Right.
Yes, you can.
Anything else come to mind?
Yes. And then you can also give of yourself.
Give of yourself.
Giving
Absolutely.
of yourself is a good gift to give. In the book, we're talking about the book, The 5 Love Languages. Gary Chapman gave a story, talked about how a wife was at the breaking point. And she said that she was at the breaking point that she said, this was it. I am not going to continue to go through my marriage because my husband loves me more than he loves baseball more than he loves me. So Dr. Chapman, he had a conference, and she said she went to the conference with the expectation of nothing happening, but her husband took the time to go to the conference. And while they're at the conference, it hit home for him. And the reason why she thought that he loved baseball more than her was because when she gave birth to her first child, she gave birth. After the birth, her husband left and went to go play baseball. Wow. After her mother passed away, went to the funeral, left after the funeral, instead of going home and being with the family, left to go play baseball. Well, one thing that he realized was that her gift was a gift of giving. Her love language was a gift of giving gifts, but she didn't want any tangible gift. She just wanted him to give of himself in order for her to feel fulfilled.
Right. That's awesome. Because again, this love language is not one that takes a lot of energy, but it does take some level of effort.
Yes, it does.
Some thought. And so somebody's love language is receiving gifts. Then like she said, we can start there. Maybe your best gift is to be there. Now check it out. To be there is great, but you really, 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 really need to be there when they're going through some crisis in their life.
Yes.
Because I'm going to say crisis, when they're going through some issue in their life. Because if it's something on the job that's wearing your husband out and his thing is receiving gifts, then woman of God, then what you need to do then is you need to make sure, if nothing else, you are being the gift he needs. Yes. Just to be there with him.
Just to be
no there. Words needed. Just to be there. And that's kind of almost in the level of quality time, but this is different because you're just being the gift to him. Quality time is more of an effort where we're doing something together, building our relationship, trying to be together and in that regard. This one is a little different. This one, when I'm together with my spouse or my mate in this love language, if it's myself, then I'm giving sacrificially without an effort of us doing something. It's just me being the gift, the sacrifice my spouse needs to get through this day, to get through this interview, to get through this season of their life. You know, that's a different thing. So that's free though. And then the other thing we talked about was, again, you know, you can make gifts, you know. So some of the times I remember coming, some holidays come up, even anniversaries. I've taken even just a piece of white paper and wrote handwritten card, no decorations, and try to be creative how I give it. And did that cost nothing, you know, so you can make it.
Those are the best gifts.
You can find them side of the highway. Well, I don't know the highway because sometimes maybe illegal, but you go somewhere and pick your flower. I better be careful giving that advice, but pick your flower. You can do that. Pick your flower anywhere. You can do that, and that'll be awesome too. You can pick your flower, right? You know, and that's a good thing. So you could just spend time, with that. James Trackstar Wiley even has an idea here.
Taking the wife out to dinner often. Yeah.
So that's one of the ways you can be there for them and do that, you know, just making sure that maybe the gift is dinner.
Yes,
you know?
It is.
Hey, she's used to cooking, you know, somebody got to cook. He cooks, she cook. We won't get into all that dynamic. That's a whole nother conversation. Whether you cook or I cook, you get the groceries, I get the groceries, you know, and all that kind of stuff. We'll leave that for off air. All right. But all right, so like I was saying, this is one of the ways, as James Trackstar Wiley, Pastor James Trackstar Wiley says, you know, one of the ways to get away, hey, you know what, let's don't even worry about the dishes tonight. That's just that. And that's a gift. That is a gift. Just to get away. And so that's another way you can do it. So you can do that. And so tonight, what I want y'all to do as we get ready to read through the book, page 94, if you got the book, we're going to give you some of the ideas for, you know, how if your love language is receiving gifts, or your mate or your spouse's love language is receiving gifts, we're about to give you some ideas that can help you. But before we do, we want you're experts, you've been in these relationships. Is there anybody who's watching who has any ideas? If somebody else is watching and you're thinking, hey, I know I've been through something. Here's the best way. My spiritual gift is receiving gifts, and here's something that's worked for me. If that's you, put a comment. We want to receive that and be able to articulate that to somebody else. So if you're watching and your spiritual your love language is receiving gifts, or your mate's love language receiving gifts, or just hearing us and ideas come. What are some ideas from you? We're getting ready to read some from the author of this book, 5 Love Languages. But if you have some real life illustrations for us, we'd love to share that. So think through those. We'll go ahead and start. I'll go first. All right. So if you have a book, it's on page 94. And so I'm just going to give you a few ideas that can help you if your gift, your love language is receiving gifts, or your mate. All right. Mm-hmm. So I'll start and then we just take turns. So try to parade your gifts. Leave a box of candy for your spouse in the morning, yogurt or something like that. Have flowers delivered in the afternoon. Give him or her a shirt in the evening. When your spouse asks what's going on, respond, just trying to fill your love tank. That's one.
And for this one, for me, then you've already said this one when you're talking about going and then discovering the value of handmade originals. Handmade originals are very valuable. So making a gift for your spouse or your mate would definitely help.
Yeah, like it says like arts. So give some ideas. People need.
Some arts and crafts, ceramics, paintings, wood carvings are really good. So if you have anything craftiness with any kind of wood, it's all good. And it even said silversmithing is good.
All right, good. Here's another one. I hope y'all taking notes if it's your love language. It helped. So another one, and this is good for kids too. If you got kids, they may be, most kids want to see something. So this is good. Take down the notes. Here's another one. Keep a gift idea notebook. Every time you hear your spouse say, I really like that. I try to do that too already, but you hear your spouse say, I really like that. Oh, this would really look nice on me. Write it down, put it on your cell phone, put it away somewhere, save it So you have a gift selection list that they don't even know about. And that way your gifts are meaningful. So, game plan. Like I said, you can't just slip up on this one. You have to be intentional to fill that tank because you want the tank full. You want it full. All right, what else you got?
Yeah. So I know my Tesla's on your list, huh?
Oh, yeah. Top.
So this one, it says, help, I'm confused. If you really don't have a clue as to how to select a gift for your spouse, ask a friend or a family member who knows your wife or husband or mate who would actually help you. So most people really enjoy buying gifts. You know people, or you may know of people that enjoy going out and getting gifts. So ask them to help you find or pick a gift for your spouse.
Yeah, I like what he said. Somebody who knows your husband or your wife.
Of course.
So this not asking your coworkers, hey, I'm trying to get my wife something. What do y'all think? Oh, but what about her lifelong friends? So this would be a good option. And here you go. Another one. Let's see. Offer the gift of your presence. We talk about that more. Let them know that you'll be there for them. That you want to talk, you want to be there. Tell them that you will make an extra effort to be there. Leaving your job or whatever to be there for them when they're going through. And it gives an idea. You may bring them to a symphony or a hockey game or whatever it is to make sure that you're there for them and pull them away. So that's the idea. One more from us. And we're still asking for y'all. I see one came in, good. But if you got any others, we want ideas from you. What can somebody do for this love language, receiving gifts? So think about it while we read this last one. Go ahead.
And this one is, give your spouse a book and agree to read it yourself. Then offer to discuss together a chapter each week. But don't choose a book that you want him or her to read. So don't choose something that you think that they should read, but actually choose a book or a topic in which you know your spouse has an interest.
Like what?
It says like sex, football, needlework, money management, child rearing, religion, or backpacking.
All right. So there you go. So you can read a book, any kind of book, and that's a great thing. That's a really good thing to do together. Don't have to be a spiritual book, as you heard. There's some things she said wasn't spiritual, so you can do any of those things together. So we're still asking the group, any other ideas come to mind? I do see one from Brenda.
Ask your mate.
Yep, That's pretty simple, right to the point. Yep. So if you're trying to find out, you can do all this game planning. Maybe it's right in your face. Ask your mate and start learning them. So hey, what do what's some of the things you like to receive from me? Now, Brenda and David said, get the Tesla. So Brenda and David, just know I will not be asking my mate. I will not be asking my mate what gift they want to receive. Amen. In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus.
Amen. All right. Any other ideas? We're running out of time. Any other ideas tonight from anybody watching of receiving gifts? Some ideas to make sure that takes place. All right. It's quiet. Or you're typing slow. Okay. Well, we thank God for you. We pray that something has been said or has been said or will be said in the next few weeks to help you. We've covered a few. We do have one. I see Tammy.
And Tammy said, an idea that is one of my favorites to receive is the gift of relaxation time. For example, having a bath drawn or a foot bath made. That's really
good.
Nice.
And that's a nice gift. Again,
yes,
that's a very, very, very nice gift. And it costs nothing to do those things. Great idea. So might want to jot that one down. All right, jot that one down.
Really good one.
Yep, a good one. Another one. Thank you so much, Janine.
And this is actually Sister Wally. She said, my soulmate always give me a lovely card. And for the past 16 years, he always give me roses on Fridays. That's so awesome.
It is.
That's
it is.
really wonderful.
That's good. That's definitely a gift. So I guess he's telling us that your love language is obviously receiving gifts. Awesome. He know and very good. He's filling that tank weekly. That's a great way for us to hear from everybody listening. So he found what his wife's language is, and he's keeping her tank, her love tank, full. And so that's what she said. I love that man. See, that's the words right there.
Love that man.
That's the words right there. That is a perfect example of why you need to know the language of your spouse.
That's right.
Because if her love language is receiving gifts, and he's only giving out words of appreciation, no matter how hard he works, her tank is empty. And so that is phenomenal. That's why, again, tonight we're telling you, whether your spouse, you or your spouse's love language is words of affirmation, quality time, or receiving gifts, you need to understand what it is and how to fill it. And we talk about it every week. And the goal is these are archived so that if once you find out past our show, you can go and listen and see some of the highlights. Because every week we've been getting some great stuff from our audience. So thank y'all so much for that. All right. Next week, we'll cover the fourth love language. And that language we'll talk about next week. So if you want to know what it is, come back next week. And if you have the book, you can read ahead and you'll be ready to help us next week. Either way, we thank God for you. We hope something's been said to bless you tonight. So if you've been blessed, help us bless somebody else who needs to hear this by doing my favorite thing. Y'all know what my favorite thing is? Push the share button so that it'll be on your timeline, or have a watch party so other people can see, about their relationship. That's what it's about. This is about relationships, not about me, trying to get fame for me, or Mona doing the same, or the church that we are part of. Not about any of that. We're really vested in the kingdom and beating the devil against his efforts to divide what God established way back in Genesis. All right. So that's what we're doing. Thank God for you. We're getting ready now for our prayer request, right? Our prayer request, right? She said, you heard me. That's right. God bless. That's right. We're getting ready for our prayer request now. So if you have prayer requests, make sure you send those in. We want to pray with you and for you. So send them in at that number you see on the screen. Send your prayer requests. We'll be more than happy to pray with you and for you.
Yes.
All right. Or you can send it to us directly. We want to pray for you and with you. All right. So tonight we're just gonna pray for you in spirit. We pray for all the relationships, but if you have a specific request, let us know. Bring somebody with you next time. God bless. God keep you is our prayer.
Amen.
Peace.